All right, everyone, welcome to the bull ring for Bathurst in July. We're finally here. Welcome to the stream on YouTube on Bull Ring Raceway. My name's Brooksy. I'll be commentating tonight along with a couple of the other races that are here tonight for night one. Tonight's schedule is qualifying for the Lexan GT3 race, which will start tomorrow morning. All right, everyone, and other shakedowns and tech checks for the weekend ahead. Welcome to the stream. We're looking forward to it. Four classes are running this weekend. Commentating tonight, along with a couple of the other races that are here tonight. This weekend for night one and tech checks. Tonight's schedule is qualifying for. So I'm just listening to myself on the broadcast there, which is a bit exciting. Yep. So 4 classes this weekend. This weekend we have Lexan GT3 tomorrow morning. Yeah. And then we also have Slotworks Supercars that'll be on tomorrow afternoon. And then on Sunday we have Plafett Formula Le Mans, and then finishing off with Slotworks Supercars at the end. So we'll have our shakedown shortly. At the moment all the guys are putting all their motors in their cars. Mm-hmm. Okay, so racing will be on in a few minutes' time. We've got 14 teams for the first race. I'll run through the teams as we speak. So our teams for this weekend include Team Air Miles. So Air Miles is Mick Leckie, Mick's from Tasmania. And Pierre's one of the racers from Sydney, out west in Sydney. Second team we have is Bull Ring 1, which is Glenn Page, the owner of the Bull Ring, and Noel Batson, and he's from Queensland. Bull Ring 2 is Ben Darley, and myself, Jason Brooks. Team 4 is Fat Racing, and we have Mark Fox, a driver from Sydney, and Jules Ruddy, which is a local from the Bull Ring. Team 5 is Jim Slots. We have Jim Patterson and Troy from the Bull Ring. Team 6 is Lynn Fox Racing. Team 6 consists of Rodney Clark, again another local from the Bull Ring. Joined by Ian Rice, a driver from Sydney, who's a late inclusion for this weekend. Team 7, Monster Racing, and they're headed up by 2 locals, which is Chris Wanson and Jason Bell. No doubt they'll be racing in Monster-inspired liveries. Just leave it. I'll get it up. Yep, pretty much. You just tell me who's up. Sorry, just organising a few things in the background. Nicky Moto is our next team, which is Kim and Nick. They're from Brisbane, so one of the interstate teams. Team 9 is Team Nissan, led by Charles, and Australian Territory driver Harry. Then we have our outer tanners, teams 1 and teams 2, which is Ian and Jack, Paul and Alvaro, and they're also from the Cootamundra / Canberra region. Team Sergeants, locals, which are Jamie and Serge. Slotworks, headed up by Cam Nielsen and Clinton. And our last team is Team 14, which is JJ and Vito. And they'll be for sure representing the Red Stallion this weekend. Okay, we'll be up shortly, so keep an eye out for things, and we'll get the cars on for a shakedown in a couple of moments. All right, drivers here ready to go, ready to do a shakedown on their cars. So they've been handed out their handout motors, and they'll be ready to go in a moment. So they'll test, clean their tyres, and then they'll go into Parc Ferme after this 10-minute shakedown session. 6. Okay, here comes Harry. Harry, pick a lane, mate, and I'm going to turn it on. Okay, we've got our last of our first group ready to go. Okay, you've got 10 minutes, drivers. Here we go. Good luck. Shakedown. And you are good to go. 10 minutes. So we'll run through those 7 teams again for you. We've got Sergeants, which is Jamie and Serge. They're on the blue lane at the moment. And they're running around with a bright orange Audi R8 in a WeatherTech livery. We have Team Nissan on black, and they're shaking down their Dodge Viper in, again, another Daytona 24-hour livery, red with white stripes. On purple, we have Team Slotworks, which is Cam Nielsen and Clinton. And Cam's testing the Acura NSX in an Epsom livery, so white and a light blue. It's like an aqua blue on his car. Noel is driving for the Bullring, and of course they're driving in a Bullring Red Bull inspired car livery, and they're on yellow lane at the moment. On orange, we have Out of Towners 1. And that's Ian and Jack from Cootamundra. And Ian and Jack are shaking down a Acura NSX as well. And it's in a red and black fantasy livery. No one's on green lane. On white lane, we have Nikki Moto. And we have Kim Axton, and he's also with Nick, and they're driving around with a car that's been familiar in a few national race meets here in Australia in the past, which is a Lamborghini Huracan, and that car last won out at Hornsby in the endurance series that we have in February in New South Wales. And that was Kim and Glenn Page racing in that. So they're in 2 different teams this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see if the Lamborghini can do just as well here at the Bullring. And our last team is Air Miles, which is Michael Leckie. And Michael used to be a local here down on the south coast of New South Wales, moving to Tasmania recently. And he's teaming up with another driver, Pierre. And Pierre lives in Western Sydney, but constantly on business travels overseas. So hence why these guys are racking up the air miles. So they've flown down here to Wollongong for this weekend's race meet. So really lovely to have them this weekend. So we've got about 6.5 minutes to go for the shakedown. We'll have a look at some lap times. Most guys are hovering in the 7-second marker. Fastest lap time I can see at the moment on the track is a 7:12, which goes to Slotworks, which is Cam. That's in the Epson Acura NSX. Oh, you're on empty. There's an empty on that. You can go to green when you bet. Green is your allocated lane. So we're watching Cam. Cam's almost in the 6s at the moment. So that's the closest at the moment. 7:09 is his fastest with a 7:22 his last lap. We can follow him around. We'll see if we can try and pick him up. So he's coming through the S's at the moment and coming onto the main straight here. We've just had a bit of a track call here. There's been a few cars that you might see underneath the tunnel here. That's all right. So we've got 2 cars off underneath the bridge there. So I believe it's orange, and I think it was a yellow or a black car. Anyway, we'll go back and see if we can find Cam, because that's our fastest driver on the track. Here he comes down the main straight, down to turn 2, and up through the S's, down the hill, and down the main straight again. There we go, around turn 2, up through the S's. So we're watching that white car onto the main straight. Here he comes. Round we go. Turn 2. Oh, getting a little bit taily there. And going well. So 6-9. So they're halfway through the shakedown. And then we'll have our second group of drivers up. After the shakedown will be tech check. So we got about half an hour, 40 minutes of action behind the scenes in terms of getting the cars through tech check. And then we'll have our qualifying session, which is quite exciting. We're aiming to have that start at 8 p.m. and going through to 8:30. So that will be the exciting thing. And in that, there'll be 2 groups in tomorrow's race. There's an A and a B group. There's quite a few drivers off here at the moment. Gosh, Skittles at the moment. But we've got 2 groups. So qualifying is 1 minute. Each team nominates 1 driver. And they'll go on blue lane, which is the fastest lane here at the bull ring. And they've got 1 minute to set their fastest lap time. And they'll get seeded from 1st place through to 14th. The top 7 will race in the A main. And the bottom 7 will race in the B main tomorrow morning. And you can watch that live from 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. The race tomorrow's morning's race is 8 heats consisting of 8 minutes. Each driver, there's 2-man teams, and each driver will do 4 of the 8 brackets, alternating each heat. So they get an even share of the track, and they must alternate each heat. So one driver drives on the gutter lanes, and the other one gets the other gutter lane at the other end, rather than those specifying on who gets to drive the middle lanes and the inner and outer lanes, so making things fair. So still looking at times at the moment. Drivers are starting to up their pace a little bit. Still the Slotworks drivers of Cam, who's pulling up at the moment. Going to give his tyres a quick clean. Out in front, 6.89 is his fastest, and that was done the lap before he parked it. Next best team is a 7-1, which is Bullring number 1, which is Noel and Pagey. They're driving around in the McLaren. They'll be a team to watch. We'll see if we can pick them up. They're on blue lane, so they're about to hit the main straight now. There they are, on yellow. Through turn 2, a little bit of a flick there. Down the hill, through the last couple of turns, and onto the main straight again. Turn 2, up through the S's, and down we go. So we've got 8 turns here at the bullring. It's a pretty busy lap. No time for real resting, even though there's a few straights, a few long straights, so they're over pretty quickly. Very tight corners at the end of each one. So a couple of hairpins, a nice S section up the hill, and a tricky left-hander at the bottom of the hill down at Monster. And coming onto the straight can be a little bit tricky too. So thanks for everyone that's watching at the moment. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Bullring Raceway on YouTube. We're now going YouTube, so you can rewind and rewatch all these races live, which is fantastic. We're also on Facebook at the moment, so Facebook is the Bullring. Should you want to follow us, we put race reports up there, and photos and up-to-date information of all things slot car related here at the Bullring. Should you want to come on down and have a run, by all means, shoot us a message. We're happy to help you out. Or should you be racing somewhere else in Australia or overseas and you want some information, by all means, get in contact with us. We've got a lovely comment section, which we can keep track of. Shoot us through and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions that you have in regards to classes and cars and anything in general slot car related. All right, the drivers are coming up to the end of their session. The other 7 teams will be coming up in a second. 10 seconds to go. Okay, you can drive them around. You'll get 10 seconds to drive them around should you want to do that. So you've got 1 lap to do it. All right, next drivers are up. 10 seconds to go. Okay, next teams, out of towners 2, Monster, Stallion Racing, Linfox, Bat Racing, Gym Slots, and Bullring 2. Come on up, pick a lane. So our next teams are coming on up, getting ready, picking a lane. Any lane, so the drivers will do a swap. The first group will put their cars, they'll do a quick check and put them back into Parc Ferme, ready for qualifying. Any lane, mate, you can. You are nominated on black, but you can pick any lane. You're here first, mate. Pick any lane. There you go. Yep, if you're here first, you get first pick. Guys, we're waiting on Monster, Stallion, Linfox, Bat Racing, Jimmy Slots. Okay, cars are arriving on the track. Just move that camera across so you can see the guys putting their cars on the track, getting ready for their 10-minute shakedown. So our drivers are on the track at the moment. So we've got purple, which is closest to the drivers. We have Alvaro, and he's got the Audi R8. We've got Team Monster, and they've got a Acura NSX in a Ray Brigg livery, so a Super GT inspired livery from the Japanese series. Any lane, it's up to you, except for red. Just don't pick red. Only 14 races. Yeah, we had Brambles and So we're also having a look at the other cars that are on the track. On, I believe, blue lane, we've got Bullring 2, which is a McLaren MP4, again in a Bullring inspired livery. Green lane is Stallion Racing. And we're also waiting on Linfox. Linfox has got a McLaren in Linfox colours, and Jim's got also a McLaren MP4 in the factory Papaka orange livery. We're only waiting for Foxy. Here's Jules. Okay, and Jules is here with the Audi R8. Jump on, Black. Julio. You won't get any lap times on red. Okay, we're going to get things going. So 10 minutes, and the track is on. So I'll just run down the drivers that are on. So Jules, one of the locals here at the Bullring, is partnering up with Mark Fox from Sydney. He's in the fluoro jacket down on black. And he's got the bright pink Audi R8. Alvaro, we've touched on before, he's got an Audi R8 also. He's on the purple lane. And I think Alvaro's from Canberra, so from the nation's capital here in Australia. Coming up for the weekend. Canberra's only about a 2-hour drive from the bull ring down here on the south coast of New South Wales. We've got Team Monster, which is an Audi R8. Benno's on blue lane, and he's got the McLaren. Red Bull McLaren. So I'm teaming up with Benno this weekend, so hopefully he's picked a good motor. And we're in for a good run.
You'll get explained tomorrow. That's not the case. Not the case. No. I'll explain things tomorrow morning when we have our driver's briefing. Just, you do one, the other person does one. You do one, the other person does one. I'll explain things tomorrow. I don't want to go into it now. So, bracket. Correct. For one of the races, the Porsche Cup is different. That's why I'll do it tomorrow. That's why I'll do things tomorrow. Just make it as complicated as you like. Correct. It's okay. Sweet.
Okay, a few crashes at the top of the hill. We'll go through racing tomorrow, getting a few questions. People are getting confused a little bit, so we've got driver's briefing tomorrow morning before we start. So we'll make things clear for all the drivers right before we start the race, so there's no confusions at all. Anyway, all right, buttons are back on. Away we go. All right, a few drivers changing lanes. So Alvaro's now going to green, which is out of towners, and Bullring 2 now moving to purple. So we're looking at fastest lap times, and it did go to blue, which was Bullring 2 with a 6.9. Alvaro making a mistake down on the last turn, and Jules at the top having an off as well. So let's see if we can follow some cars on the track for you, so you can get a bit of an idea on who to watch. Alright, let's see if we can find some cars for you on the track. Okay, we'll follow my team, the Bullring. We're on black now at the moment with the Lambo. Here he comes on the, the McLaren, coming in on the inside lane. Coming up to overtake the pink Audi R8, which is Fat Racing. And does so. Down at turn 2, he's got the inside lane down there. And the outside lane coming onto the main straight there. There's a few offs at the top of the hill. Let's see if we can follow some other drivers here. We've got a few drivers coming down the main straight at the moment. We've got Jim Slots, which is on white, which is Jim Patterson. He's got the orange McLaren MP4 coming here on second inside lane. Camera shot doesn't really get Jim in shot, so we'll follow him. He's coming down to turn 2 now and up through the S's as we speak. Down into the final couple of corners and across the line. 7.8 was his last lap. Oh, a big crash at the top of the hill. Okay. All right, so if you guys are off the track and they're handing their cars in already, they feel pretty comfortable. We've got 5 left on the track shaking down their cars. Now, all cars racing this weekend are based off the real cars. So these are GT3 cars. Giving a rundown of Bathurst in July. So Bathurst here in Australia is probably one of the most recognisable tracks worldwide. Real life road tracks. The track is in fact a normal road, open public road for the majority of the year, with 4 scheduled race meets throughout the year where they actually close the road and they turn it into a racetrack. So in February we have the Bathurst 12 hour, which is generally the first week in February, and they run GT3 cars, so representing those cars that race at Bathurst in the first class, which is Lexan GT3. So all your different makes, like your Porsches, your Ferraris, your Corvettes, Acura NSXs hopefully next year, Mercedes AMG GT3s and the likes. So that's our first class. The next class tomorrow afternoon, that's probably our big endurance race tomorrow, is Slotworks Porsche Cup. And the Porsche GT3 Cup Series is one of the sport categories for the V8 supercars, which is one of our premier racing classes here in Australia. And they have a one-make class. So I'll be racing them as a big endurance race tomorrow afternoon. And then on Sunday we have Plafet FLMs, which are Formula Le Mans. They don't race at Bathurst at the moment, but hopefully we've got a GT Le Mans series that's establishing in Australia, hopefully scheduled for next year, and hopefully we'll see them up at Bathurst when they do. But be very interesting to see them on the track. That's on Sunday morning here at the Bullring, and then finishing off with an individual race, and that's Slotworks Supercars. So like the real cars that race in the Great Race in October. So your Holdens, your Fords, your Nissans, some fantastic liveries that we've seen here already. A lot of detail goes into these cars to make them look like the actual proper things. So in scale model. So we've got about 2.5 minutes to go. We're looking at lap times. Now, a few of the drivers in this group for shakedown have swapped lanes, which is quite interesting. I think that's quite smart of this group to get a feel of both the middle lanes, which are generally the faster lanes, and the gutter lanes, which have got the really tight turns. So smart thinking by this group. Fastest lap time at the moment is a 6:9.3 on blue. There's also a 6:9.8 on purple. I don't think you guys can see that behind the Bullring logo, so sorry about that, guys. We've got that up there for our race screen, so it might be blocking in the way a little bit. And then the rest of the times are in the 7s, so between your low 7s to a high 7.6 on white lane. So about a minute and a half to go. And drivers are running around, doing last minute lane changes. As we can see, their Stallion Racing now changing to purple. Here he comes down through turn 2. We've got Jim Slots on white still, running around. Who's this car coming down on blue? That's Out of Towners, which is the white and green Audi R8. Fourth car that's making it onto the straight is the pink car on orange lane. That is Fat Racing. And our last car making it on the track is the Lynn Fox Racing, which is in the yellow and red shell / Lynn Fox livery on green lane, making his way down to turn 2. There they go. So 30 seconds. Drivers are coming around. Last opportunity to get a lap in before qualifying. So remember, qualifying will be on at approximately 8 p.m. So keep your eyes out for that. So that's in about half an hour's time, if the schedule is according to it.
10 seconds, drivers. Last laps. Bring them around.
So here they come. And that is it for Shakedown. So the drivers will head back to Parc Ferme. And they'll start doing tech. And that's in the room next to us. Fortunately, we don't have a camera set up in there, so we'll just have to wait and hear how everything goes there. We'll try and get some driver interviews and see how things go. All right, let's see if we can get some of the drivers down, have a bit of a quick chat and see if we can work out how they went in Shakedown. You're watching the Bull Ring live here on YouTube. As always, like and subscribe to the Bull Ring. And if you've got any questions, send them in. We can see them on the big screen. And we'll be sure to comment back with all your queries and questions that you have. I'll have a chat to Vito quickly. Yeah, g'day, mate. All right, here we are. G'day, guys. How are we? Vito, did you do some shakedown just then? How was it?
GT3, good.
What's your car?
Yeah, it was a GT3. It's a McLaren. It's the 1244 pinion, new motor. Pushed it. The car didn't come out of the lane, so got a good drivable car. So.
Did you get a good batch of motor? Is that the major question?
Got a good motor, and I think well-built car. So the car didn't come out. So if it stays like that, I'd say we'll be hopefully up there at the end by tomorrow. So
excellent. And what are you looking forward into qualifying tonight? Where do you think you're going to be?
Hopefully in the first group, in the top 6 or 7. So. Yeah.
We'll keep an eye out for that. So keep your eyes out for that at 8 o'clock. So some of the drivers are getting their motors handing out for Slotworks supercars at the moment. So the drivers are, as you might see in the background up here, running to their workbenches and prepping their next cars. I've got to do the same thing myself, so I'll get to there shortly. We'll see if we can find any other drivers that are willing to have a chat to us at the moment. They're looking pretty busy at the moment, working away. So the Bull Ring track, I'll just go through how this all works in the meantime while drivers are handing their GT3s in and getting their Slotworks V8 supercar motors for Sunday afternoon's race all ready. So we've got 8 lanes here at the Bull Ring, all in international colour coding lane sequence. So we've got red, then white, green, orange, blue, yellow, purple, black. Pretty simple. 8 turns. So our first turn starts down here where our first camera is. So we've got a lovely straight with a kink in it. And with the fast cars like Formula Mons, the back ends can step out a little bit. So keep your eyes out for Sunday morning's race. And there might be a little bit of action, a little bit of touching going on going into the braking section of turn 1. Turn 1 is a 180-degree hairpin. Then we lead in underneath the bridge, and the bridge is a bit of a sweeper, flat out through the bridge, onto turn 2, which is down at Slotworks Bend, which is down here. So that gives you an idea. They pop out underneath the bridge. Drivers have got to find their cars quickly as they reappear and into the braking zone. So purple and black are quite tricky because they've got the inside lanes there. Then we drive out of that, and we've got our lane markers on the track, whereas our designated pit area between turn 2 and 3. And then we'll work our way up to the S's, which is turns 3, 4, and 5. So it can be quite tricky. This is the most technical point in the track where car balance is crucial as the cars lean from one direction and change to the other. Especially getting the drive out of here at the top of the hill, as you might see here behind me, can be quite crucial as the drivers put the pedal on the metal and head their way down to Monster Energy corner, which is turn 6. Again, not a straight. Technically it's flat out, but it's got a little bit of a kink in it. But the drivers can go flat out there. Then we go into a 90-degree left-hand turn. Again, another tricky corner for purple and black because it's a sharp corner down there. And then we end up at the far end of the track near the garage door. And it's Jack Daniels down there. So we've got some lovely Jack Daniels signage down on the last 2 turns. And then again, another 180-degree hairpin right turn. Leading for a little wiggle. It's like a little dip in the track. So they head up hill a fraction through the last turn, which is Jack Daniels. Officially was what I call it. And across the start-finish line. So that's a lap of the bull ring. We'll have qualifying on at just after 8. So keep your eyes out for that at the moment. We'll get everything ready at the moment. And we will set up the race coordinator system. So we're using a lovely track software which is free online, which is Race Coordinator. Racecoordinator.net is what it is, and it's very well used. We've got a TrackMate system interface that works with it, and there's so many fantastic features that you can set up for your home track. For this weekend we run nationals, so that's the way that we're going to run it. How that works is we start the first race from the start line, drive your heat, and wherever you stop, you move your car from where you are, drive it on the next lane, and away you go. You can do races where you start and finish from the start-finish line each time, and you get partial laps at the end of each race. You can do fuel races, handicap races, time races, qualifying, which we'll see a little bit later on tonight. So very good. So thank you to Dave and all those people who help out behind the scenes of updating Race Coordinator on pretty much a weekly basis. There's a great community, so you can keep your eyes out, especially on our slot forum over in the UK. And there's a great forum where everyone helps out in terms of improving the racing software on a week-to-week basis. The great thing is we'll have all our race data presented in a Excel file. They'll be available to you tomorrow once we complete the races and qualifying. And it gives you a breakdown at every single lap that's been run. So you can see where you've set a fastest lap on a particular lane, a particular lap throughout the race, or where you had an off with someone else. It will show all those details up. And it's great to see where you can improve on. Come to these big races. with someone else. Show all those details up, and it's great to see where you could improve on these big races. All right. So drivers are putting their motors in at the moment. I might leave you guys here for 2 moments as well. I'm going to put my motor in. So we'll leave you here with a shot of the track, and we'll be back in a couple of moments ready for qualifying. Should you have any questions, please shoot them through. We'll hear the buzzer go off on the screen. So if you have any questions, please shoot them through on the YouTube channel. And we'll be back in a moment with all the gossip from Tech Check to make sure all the cars are through, and then we'll get into qualifying. So thanks for tuning on in. Alright guys, welcome back to the bull ring. At the moment the drivers are still completing motor handouts for all classes for this weekend. There are 4 classes for this weekend's race meet. We have Lexan GT3, we have Slotworks Porsche Cup, Pluffett FLM, and Slotworks Supercars. So we're getting ready for the racing that's ahead. We've got qualifying coming up shortly for Lexan GT3. Just checking in. Everyone's doing a very good job of passing through tech this afternoon. So congratulations to all the teams thus far, and to our scrutineers that are out the back, making sure that the cars all comply with the rules. So we have 14 teams entered for the first race, which is Lexan GT3. You might see the names up on the screen. I'll go through the teams again. It's Sergants, which is Serg and Jamie. They're locals here from the bull ring. Out of towners 1, which is Ian and Jack from Cootamundra. So that's out a little bit west of Canberra, sort of in the centre of New South Wales. So coming from the country. Again, out of towners 2, which is Paul and Alvaro. They come from out of town, from one big town, which is Canberra, which is the nation's capital here in Australia, coming down to the bull ring. Monster, which is Chris and Jason Bell, so they're regulars that you might have seen on our streams on Facebook. So no doubt they'll be driving in Monster Energy livery cars. Nicky Moto, which is one of our interstate teams from Queensland, which is Kim Axton and Nick Girdlestone. So Nicky Moto is what they've called themselves. So they've been very quick up in Brisbane in the GT3 championships that happen on a bi-monthly basis at River City Slot Car Centre. I believe they got a couple of podiums the other day, so that was all good. Stallion Racing, we've got Vito and JJ. They're working in the corner here. And Vito's, I think he's got a Slotworks supercar in his hands at the moment, just testing the motor. But Vito and JJ are going together in this first race. So they're locals here. Bull Ring 1, of course, is Glenn Page, who's the owner of the Bull Ring. And we have an interstate driver also driving in the team, which is Noel Batson. And Noel's from Queensland, also a local driver from River City Slot Car Centre, and all the corresponding racetracks up there. And Noel's one of the quick drivers here in Australia, so no doubt they'll be a fast team this weekend. Pairing up. Lynn Fox, team that's been going around for a while now, consisting of Rodney Clark, a local down in this area. He lives at Robertson, which is about a half an hour drive from here, up on the escarpment, so Southern Highlands. And Rodney is driving with one of the drivers that I race with in Sydney, which is Ian Rice from the Armchair / Pendle Hill group. So he's been a late call up. Unfortunately, Cameron from Brisbane couldn't make it down and race with Rod, so Ian's decided to jump on in to that empty seat and will joining us tomorrow. But Rodney will be qualifying the car tonight for Team Linfox, and been a member of Team Linfox for a little while. Ran with Rodney last time out in Adelaide in the South Australian Championships back on June long weekend, so that was about 6 or 7 weeks ago. So we had some good results there. So no doubt Rodney will hopefully have a good run tonight, considering this is his local track. Team Nissan, another local pairing. Sort of, it's been split up last moment with some driver changes. But we've got Charles in his Nissan Nismo jacket representing the team very well. and he's pairing up with his good mate Harry from Canberra. So that's father. Son, which is Clinton, is now driving for Team Slotworks, which consists of himself and Cam Nilsson. Unfortunately, Gary Johnson, who is now the new owner of Slotworks. Cam was the previous owner of Slotworks. Gary Johnson unfortunately couldn't make it this weekend. Unfortunately, he's fallen a little bit ill in the last week or two. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. So hopefully you're having a speedy recovery, Gary, and see you on the track shortly. But Clinton will be lining up with Cam. Last year they had a really good run in the Slotworks Porsche Cup cars together. Clinton and Cam taking out the win in the corresponding race last year. So no doubt they'll be quick this weekend. So keep an eye out for those two boys. Fat Racing, which consists of Mark Fox. Mark does a lot of racing up at Hornsby in Sydney with all the Aussie retro stuff. And he was due to be joined with Daryl, also another racer from Sydney and Hornsby. But unfortunately, Daryl's had a neck injury. So again, also hopefully you're on the mend, mate. And he's heading overseas shortly to America. So hopefully you enjoy your trip, mate. So again, another speedy recovery. We wish you were here. But Mark's now teaming up with Jules, which was one of the locals. So again, hopefully they'll have a good run. Air Miles, another visiting team, sort of. We've got Mick Leckie. Mick used to live down here at Wollongong. He's recently moved to the island state of Tasmania. Got a lovely farm down south, about an hour's drive south of Hobart. And he's come up here for the weekend, which is fantastic. Also seeing some family up here. And Pierre's from Sydney. But Pierre, with his work in the, I think the train industry, I believe, sees him travel overseas on a regular basis, racking up those air miles. Hence why the name Air Miles. So it's great to see Pierre here this weekend, racing with Mick. They've raced together before, so hopefully they'll have a decent run this weekend. Next on the list, Jim Slots. Jim Patterson, our I guess our father figure here at the Bull Ring. Jim's been racing for quite a few years. Great racer, very consistent, keeps it on the track. So Jim's racing with Troy, one of the locals here as well. So hopefully these two guys will have a good show this weekend. And the last team I haven't covered off yet is Bull Ring 2, which is myself, Brooksy, and I'm pairing up with Ben Darley. We're primarily from Sydney, but also regular racers down here at the Bull Ring. So we consider ourselves as locals, and hopefully we'll have a good running this year. Ben's been prepping the cars for our team, which is quite nice for myself. Don't really have to worry about tuning the cars up. I'm the man who picks up the trigger, and away I go. So excellent, mate. Fantastic. And I've just been given the word that Ben's almost ready to go. Pretty much all the cars have passed scrutineering. I think we're just waiting on one to go. And once that's all done, then we'll get some qualifying underway, which is excellent. So we'll be kicking that off in a matter of moments. All right, let's see what I've got here. I think I've got a question here from one of our watchers. John Munson, g'day mate. My mate back in Sydney. And his question is, why don't they practice on red? I guess in that way I didn't set it up on the computer, mate. I only had 7 names in, so red lane was effectively not counting any laps because it was empty lane. It's on me, so hence why no one practicing on red. They weren't getting lap times for practice, so we sort of shuffled everyone down on the other 7 lanes. Hopefully it looks good on the big screen. What's your thoughts on tonight, mate? Who's going to top qualify, and who's going to do well, and who's going to not do so well? Like to get your thoughts. Anyway, all good. How are we going, Cam? You want to have a chat? Bit busy? I don't know. We'll get Cam over. Cam Nielsen. G'day, mate. How's it all going? All good? How's your motor chains? Is it all working?
Yeah, mesh feels all right, so we'll see how we go.
And who are you driving with this weekend?
I'm with, who am I with? I can't remember. Clinton. Team Nissan.
Team Slotworks, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've poached one of the Nissan drivers.
And you guys won last year's Slotworks Porsche Cup. You're looking forward to do the same thing this year?
Yeah, hopefully we'll, well, I don't know about back it up, but we'll try anyway, yeah.
Tops. And motors are all in, ready to go?
Yeah, all good, yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, all right. I might leave you to it. I don't think you were visiting someone, so just a quick catching me on the run. But Cam's getting ready. So he's looking all good to go. Fantastic. Checking some of the other drivers here in the background here. Vito's checking his car. He's running a Xbox livery Slotworks Supercars car on Sunday. So been quite nice. I've lent out my body for him this weekend. I'm going to run the Holden. Having a chat to Amundsen. We've pre-chatting. The Holden is better than the Ford, mate. So a bit disappointing considering I'm a Ford convert now. But Vito's going to race a Ford pretty proudly, so that's good. And Rodney's got my chassis, so I've got parts all over the spot. So we'll see on how the guys go Sunday afternoon. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Rodney's been tinkering with my car, so hopefully it's not too bad. I'm a little bit worried, but anyway, we'll wait and see. So we're getting ready. So we'll be back in a moment. I'll get the racing set up, and we'll get qualifying underway in a second. So thanks for tuning on in, guys. Okay, welcome back to the bull ring, guys. As you might have seen just in the last 20 seconds, we've just randomised the names for qualifying. We've got Kim Axon as the person who was the randomiser who said when. And we've got our allocation of teams that will be up for qualifying in a moment. So the order is as followed. Fat Racing will be up first, and then it will work its way from 14th back up to 2nd. So Stallion Racing will be up next. And Surgance, Team Nissan, Air Miles, Gym Slots, Nicky Moto, Monster, Bullring 1, Out of Towners 1, Out of Towners 2, Slotworks, Lynn Fox, and last of all is Bullring number 2, which works well for my team. So each team will have 1 minute to qualify, and the best time puts them in the section here. So the guys are getting ready. Yeah, see how you guys are on deck? Anyway, I'm just explaining stuff to the boys so they know what's going on. So one driver from each team will be qualifying. Blue lane has been the lane that's been nominated on. It's been the fastest lane for this weekend. So we'll keep an eye on things. I can confirm for our team that Ben will be qualifying for us. I'll be doing the commentating and the calling out of laps. As we speak, here comes the cars out onto the track here. Let's see if we can keep Benno. There he is with the tray. So we'll get some cars lined up on the side here. Getting ready. So we've got 14 cars on the grid. So we'll take some photos of the cars and we'll be getting underway in a moment. Should you have any questions, by all means, shoot them through on YouTube through the comment section. I'll see if I can put a comment up just to give you an idea in terms of what it looks like, just so and ideas. So, as you might see, I've just made a comment. Say comment here, so by all means, have a chat. See how that all goes. So we can see your comments come on in. For those drivers who want photos, please take photos now. We've got 14 cars on the grid, so a variety of cars, including the ones that you might see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, including Porsche 911s, Ferrari 458s, Audi R8s. What have we got else? I can see on the grid here. We've got Acura NSXs, McLaren MP4s. We've got Dodge Vipers on the grid as well. Lamborghinis, Corvettes, Bentleys, and my favourite car, the Mercedes SLS GT3. So drivers are getting their photos done. First team is going to have a look. So some drivers having a bit of a look-see at the thing. Does anyone want to have a chat to me? Pre-qualifying nerves, something like that? No? No one's really that interested? Oh, that's a bit of a shame. We might get their comments as they come off for qualifying and see how they feel. So we like getting their comments, whether it be good or bad. So just telling Rodney and the rest of the people on YouTube, first up is Fat Racing, and then it will work its way from the totem pole from the bottom up to the top. So Team Lynn Fox is up second last. Repeat, second last. Correct. Yeah, it's interesting on how the race coordinator works, just like Greenacre. We love our Greenacre racing in Sydney. We do qualifying there. Great track that's been going for 52 years now. We race with a guy called Ron. He's, I believe, 92 and still going as ever strong as before. He gives it to us young folk in spades. He's very quick on the track. So g'day to the guys from Greenacre. So some of the guys are coming on down, taking some photos, having a look at the cars. We've got Foxy, Foxy having a look, looking over the cars there. So one of our regular races up in Sydney, racing Aussie Retros at Hornsby Slot Cars. Great series up there, the metal chassis cars, and with Lexan tops, and they race once a month on a Saturday night at Hornsby Slot Cars, run by James. So we're starting to get a bit of a crowd here. And we'll see if we can get racing underway in a moment. So 8:15, so we're a little bit behind schedule here at the moment. We'll see if we can push through here.
Are we ready to get things kicked off in a second? Quarter past 8 already.
All right, something that I did not know, we've got concourse trophies. So our winner for concourse is Serge. Well done, Serge. Congratulations, mate. Do you want to come on over and give us a spill of what car you've got, mate? You've won the best looking car on track, mate. You've won the best car on show. Congratulations, mate. He's shocked too. You didn't do it? What happened? Who did it? Oh, okay, so it's one of Benno's paint jobs that Serge has brought. But, Serge, you own the car, mate, don't you? You own the car, though, don't you? Yeah, you're the champion. There we go. Anyway, we'll get Serge over in a moment. We'll have a chat. The cars are coming off the grid, and we're going to get ready. All right, the cars will come on over here at the bench. Fantastic. Great. They're right next to me. So the cars come back into Parc Ferme right next to me, and we'll get some things. Yeah, I'll do that at the end. Yep, at the end of each qualifying session. So we'll get everyone ready at the moment. So can we get Fat, Stallion as surgeons to get ready? We're getting the troops rallied up together. They're finally getting things underway.
Getting ready, Fat Racing, Stallion, Surgeons, everyone else needs to be marshalling around the track or have at least a representative ready. Where's your car? It's 1 minute qualifying. Please start your car behind the line. So you count your first lap. Yeah, the start-finish line.
So the drivers are getting ready. First driver up, or first team up is Fat Racing, which is Mark Fox and Jules Ruddy. Jules will be qualifying, which is the local driver. And Mark's just getting the car ready, putting down the main front. Next is Singh.
So qualifying will be done on blue lane. It's like all other national events. 1 minute, fastest lap will count where you were on the totem pole. And then then there's a 30-second lane change. That makes sense, yeah? All good? Are we ready to go? I'm going to look
After it up here on the screen. All right.
Are you ready? Do you want me to count you in?
3, 2, 1. All right, we're underway. Here we go for qualifying. So 1 minute brackets here. Okay, first lap is a 7.80, and that is a new track record. That's a new track record. 7.63. That's your personal best, Jules.
All right. Are you ready?
7.44.
All right, we're underway. Here we go for...
I can hear myself plenty of times. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. 20 seconds left. Because I can't reach the microphone there. 7.44 is Jules's best. 10 seconds to go. 7.59, Jules, was your last lap. You might get 2 more laps in. 7.45, and heading into the white flag. So finish your last lap off, mate. What's his last lap going to be? 7.51. So 7.44 is the standing time, and that's pole position at the moment. So congratulations. We'll get Jules on over. Next up is Stallion Racing, which is JJ and Vito. JJ will be the driver that will be marshalling. Jules is coming over to Parc Ferme. I'll get a quick word with him. How was that, Jules?
A bit taily, but it's all right.
You reckon you're going to be in top 7 or bottom 7?
Oh, top.
Okay. All right, we'll wait and see on that. Top 7 is what he's looking for. JJ's getting ready. We've got 8 seconds to go. So he's looking for a 7.44 to be on pole. And he's underway. Track is on. JJ racing for Stallion Racing. Standing lap is a 7.98. 7.50. That's still P2 for JJ. Looking for a 7.44, so very close here. 7.34. That's P1 at the moment. Driving away. Let's see if we can follow him at the moment. 7.30. That's his personal best. See if he can go any faster. 20 seconds to go. 7.26. Personal best. Or track best. 7.14. Can he get into the 6.9s? Will that happen? 10 seconds to go. So he might get 2 more laps in. 7.18. Very close, that lap. 3, 2, 1, 0. He gets the laps in. 7.18. And he'll drive it to the line. Crosses the line now. And a 7.19 to round it out. Best lap time, 7.14. And that puts him into P1. So congratulations to JJ at the moment. Sergeants is up next. Then Team Nissan, Air Miles, and Gym Slots are the next few that are on the track. So how do we think of that, Vito? How did JJ go, mate? What do you think? 2 second word?
Come out beautiful, yeah, beautiful.
Top or bottom? What are you thinking of?
Middle.
Middle. Okay, maybe scrape through to the top 7. All right, we'll wait and see. Thank you for the 2 seconds. Okay, Serge is almost getting ready. Track will be on in 5 seconds. I'll count you in. 3, 2, 1, and you're away. Go. So Serge has got 1 minute, and he's got the bright orange Audi R8 concourse winning car. It's been voted. And first lap is a 7.64. So that puts him in P3 at the moment. 7.47. Still in P3, very close to Fat Racing of Jules. Comes off at the top of the Slotworks S's. So that lap's not going to really count. Next lap in. Going through the S's. Oh, a little bit taily through the top of the hill. Still got 30 seconds to go. Let's see if we can follow around. Here we go, down the main straight. Into turn 2. Looking good through the S's. He makes it clean this time. What's going to be the lap time here?
7.63. Coming down, he's got 10 seconds left. Can he improve on a 7.47? 7.48, very close that lap. Can he knock off Fat Racing? 7.65, he's got last lap. So what can he do in his last lap here? Push really hard, mate. Oh, getting a little bit taily in the last corner. 7.47, P3 at the moment. Well done, Serge, in his first big race meet. He's a local living literally right down the road of the bull ring. I think he lives a block away, so fantastic stuff. I'll get a word quickly from Serge. Okay, Team Nissan is up next, which is Charles, and Charles is rocking the Team Nismo shirt. Here's Serge. What do you think, Serge? How was that run? Nerve-wracking?
Nerve-wracking. 2 offs, but shouldn't have done that.
But all good? You're looking for the big race?
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Okay, here we go. Team Nissan is getting ready, and they're underway. So they've got a minute to go. So Charles, one of the locals here. This Viper's been looking good in Thursday night racing. So we'll see where he pops on up. 7.56 is his opening lap. And 7.14 is the best time at the moment. 7.28, he moves to second straight away. So looking pretty good. Let's see if we can follow him at the moment. 7.29 last lap. Turn 2 through the S's. Looking a lot more planted than the Audi R8 for the last set of turns. 7.30. Around we go. Down the hill through Jack Daniels. Across the start-finish line. 7.288. Very close to his best. Oh, a little bit of a kick out there at turn 2. He's got 15 seconds to go and an off. That will wreck this lap and next lap. So he might have one more lap to put in a banker. A really good, well, he's got a banker, but can he beat the top time of Stallion Racing? 2 seconds, 1 second, 0. He's on the white flag. This is it for his race. And it's a 7.25, his best on the last. Puts him P2, so congratulations to Team Nissan. I can hear myself commentating about 20 seconds in delay. That's how far away live is. Yeah, it's twice as annoying. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, twice as annoying listening to me second time around. How was that, Charles? Good? Bad?
I think the 7.2s isn't too shabby.
Excellent. Good motor?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Ready for tomorrow?
Let's live it be.
Okay, excellent. Good stuff. Okay, here we go. We've got Air Miles, which is Mick Leckie getting ready. Here we go, and he's away. Track is on. Yeah, I don't know. Something's going on with the sound. Sorry, boys, if you can hear me in the background twice. But anyway. Okay, Air Miles is up. So Mick Leckie, so a local that... Race fans. Oh, yeah, race fans. Sorry, guys. Yeah, race fans. Here we go. Thank you, Chris. Okay, Mick, 7.46 is his best at the moment. 7.420. That puts him now into P3. 7.62 that lap. Let's see if we can follow him around with his car. Coming through the S's down into Monster. Jack Daniels and along the straight here. Coming through turn 2 now. Looking good and smooth. Oh, until then. Has an off. Trying to find some extra time in that Ferrari. Turn 2. Looking smooth. 5 seconds. He's going to get one more lap in. Can he improve? 7.41. Can he do anything on the final bell lap here? Coming down through Monster. Oh, he has an off, and that'll be it. So he'll drive it around. By the way, Dragons are in. One of the teams I don't like at all in rugby league. Sorry, Chris. Yeah, don't like the Dragons. I like Pet. Anyway, so Mick puts Air Miles into P3 at the moment. We'll get a quick word with him. Up next is Jim Slots, which Jim Patterson is going to qualify on, and he's got the McLaren MP430 in the, I guess, factory colours. We'll wait for Mick's word. We've got 10 seconds before Jim's on. Okay, counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the track is on for Jim. How do we go, Mick? How was that with the Ferrari?
No, it was good, considering we had to change our opinions at the very last moment in Parc Ferme.
Oh, wow. Okay, so last minute changing. All good. Looking forward to tomorrow's race.
I am, actually. Excellent. I'll get on to Pierre, let him know we did all right. He's gone out for dinner with his wife.
Perfect. Excellent. G'day to Heidi and Pierre. Enjoying some nightlife down here. That's it. Oh, I hope he's watching too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, we're back to Jim. So 30 seconds. 7.28 is his best at the moment, which is P3. P2 now. He gets in front of Team Nissan. 7.232. Looking for a 7.14 now, which is Stallion Racing, set by JJ. 20 seconds to go. Let's see if we can follow around. Oh, he has an off at the top of the hill. A few people have been caught out at the top of the Slotworks S's. Here comes Jim down through turn 1, turn 2, and through the S's down towards Monster. Jack Daniels across the line. 7.36. He's got one more lap. What can he do? Is it going to be a clean lap? It is, and it is a 7.29. So not fast enough, that lap, but a 7.23 puts him in position 2 at the moment. So excellent stuff. Kim behind the line, so you get your first lap in, mate. That's it. Get a run up. You want the line. You want an extra lap in. All right. How do we go, Jim? P2. All happy with the McLaren?
Yeah, it'll do.
It will do. Excellent. Ready for tomorrow's race?
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, excellent, cool. He'll let us know tomorrow. Okay, here we go. So we got Kim Axton getting ready. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and he's away for Nikki Moto. Oh, and off at the top of the hill. That's another team that's been caught out. So it's a trouble spot there. 9.2 standing lap. So this will be his first realistic lap. 7.52, and that puts him in 7th place at the moment. Looking for a 7.47 to move up, and he does. 7.31 puts him into P4 at the moment. Looking now for a 7.25 to get over Team Nissan, and he does. Moves into second now. 7.18, very close to JJ's time of 7.14 in the Ferrari. 7.13, and he does it. So he's on pole at the moment. Congratulations. Can he improve on that time? There's definitely some fast drivers coming on up. Remember, the top 7 go through into the A main tomorrow, and the bottom 7 will race in the B main. So we've almost got our first 7 representative times up. 7.24 coming up to the final lap now, and he's going to cross over the line, and a 7.27. But best lap time of the 7.13 puts him on pole, and very good looking at being in the A main. Okay, Team Monster is up next, and Jason Bell's up racing for Monster. How was that, Kim? Well done. Top fastest qualifier. Any comments for me, mate?
Yeah, only till Noel gets on the track.
Okay, all right, we'll wait. Okay, thanks, mate. Well done. And others? Okay, all right, cool. Okay, 10 seconds to go for Belly. He's prepped really early. On next is Bullring 1, then Out of Towners 1 and 2. Slotworks, Linfox, and Bullring 2 are still up to go at the moment. Okay, let's have a look at Monster's standing lap. Jason Bell, what can he do? 7.67. P8 at the moment. At the moment, team on the bubble is Sergeants, and they'll be starting in the bottom group tomorrow now. They've been bumped off. 7.33 for Monster. 7.12, that's pole at the moment. He pulls that out of the bag. Chris is excited here. What do you think, mate?
What a champion.
Thank you, mate. What a ledge. Anyway, all right, let's see if he can improve on that. So he's in the top. That means they will be in the main for tomorrow's event. It all depends on lane choice on where you qualify, so that's guaranteed already. 7.08, first car in the 7.0s. Looking very smooth. Let's see if we can follow around. 10 seconds to go. Turn 2, there he goes through the tunnel, up through the S's. He might get one more lap in. 7.07. Yes, he'll get one more lap in. 7.073, that's his best. Crossing the line now. 7.11. 7.07, that's pole at the moment for Jason Bell and Team Monster, one of the local teams. Congratulations on making it to the A main. We'll get a quick verse with Belly. Up next is Bullring 1, so the local team. Pagey, the track owner, will be qualifying. So you've got 20 seconds. Jason Bell, are you happy with that? Race, mate? You're gonna have a quick 2-second thing. What's your debrief?
After a quick motor change, after a fault, a little bit tentative there at the start, but got plenty in it. So happy to be up there with the boys at the moment. See how Pagey goes.
Excellent, fantastic, and he's underway for Bullring number 1. So Pagey's got a McLaren MP4 in a Red Bull scheme. 7.73 is his standing lap.
to make it into the A group. He needs a 7.41 or better, and he does that already, 7.10. That puts him into P2. Can he go better than Monster and Jason Bell? He's got 37 seconds. That is an off down at Monster. So that lap is gone. All right, next lap. Let's see if we can follow him around the track. Here we go. Main straight, 6.99. That's pole. And first driver into the 6 seconds. Can he go any faster than that? 7.01. He's got 15 seconds left on the scoreboard. Next lap. 6.97. That's a new best. Looks very quick into the Slotworks S's and into the last lap here. 6.97. And last lap is a 7.06. 6.97. Pagey is on pole for bullring number 1. So definitely into the A main. Unfortunately, that bumps Fat Racing into the B group for tomorrow. We'll get a quick roll word with Pagey. I think Pagey's running away at the moment. Noel, what do you think of your teammate there? All good, mate? Good result?
Car was a little bit taily.
Oh, okay. Radio.
And he fell off.
Oh,
okay. All right. We'll wait and see how tomorrow goes. Hopefully they'll improve on that. Okay. Out of Towners is up next. Out of Towners 1. Here we go on blue. Are you ready? 1 second and you're away. Go, go, go. Okay. They got the Acura NSX on the track here. Wait, don't touch my coffee mug. All right. 7.43 is the first lap. Looking for a... Oh, there he goes. 7.10. Bumps himself into third position at the moment for out-of-towners. Cura NSX. Let's see if we can follow them around the track. Here we go. Turn 2. I've just already missed that through the Slotworks S's. Down through Monster. Jack Daniels through turn 1 and 2. 7.22 was the last lap. 20 seconds left for... out of towners. 7.13 that last lap, very close to his personal best. 10 seconds left. He's got 1 or 2 more laps in it. 7.25 that last lap. 7.65. We've got 1 more lap. 7.13, close to his best again. Down the hill through Monster. Jack Daniels crosses the line and 7.22. But a 7.10 puts him in P3 and looking pretty good to make the A main tomorrow. All right. Out-of-towners 2 is coming up on the track next. Alvaro is coming up with the Audi R8. How was the qualifying, that run? Really good?
Very good, thank you, Jason. Yes, enjoyed it very much.
In the A-main tomorrow? Pretty happy?
Very happy with that, mate.
Tops. All right, we'll see you in the A-main tomorrow for the big race. Alvaro's getting ready. We've got 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're away. Go. We've got 1 minute for out-of-towners 2. So Alvaro is from the nation's capital in Canberra. So one of the visiting teams. He's paired up with Paul down at Jack Daniels in the last corner there. So 7.74 is his standing lap. 7.33. That puts him into position 8. He needs a 7.25 to make it into the A main at the moment. But there are a few more teams to qualify. So to guarantee himself, he needs to be in about 4th or better. So he needs a 7.10 to guarantee his spot in the A main. Oh, he's getting a little bit taily through that last turn. The guide's kicking out. 20 seconds to go. Currently sitting in 8th place. Let's follow the Audi around the track. Coming down the main straight. Oh, he's off again in that front straight. Turn 2. Through the S's. Can he make it through the last corner? Well, he's going to get 1 more lap in now. This is going to be the money lap. Through the S's cleanly. Can he get around the last corner clean? That's great. 7.38. So that puts him in position 8. Unfortunately, not enough for the A main. But at the moment, we'll give him first choice in the B main. So looking good here. We'll get our word with Alvaro. Team Slotworks is up next, and Cam Nielsen will be up. So, Alvaro, how was your laps there? Good run?
Look, for someone that doesn't race these classes so often, it was well.
Excellent, mate. All right, we hope you had a good run tomorrow. Thanks for qualifying. All right, Cam's up. We've got 10 seconds to go, so he's prepped and ready to go. So Cam's got the Acura NSX. Let's see how fast this is. Remember, he was classest in the shakedown practice number 1. Anyway, he's off on blue. Let's see how he goes. He's with Clinton this weekend. Looking pretty smooth. 7:03 for the first lap. That puts him in P2. Can he get a 6:97 to get on pole? 6:90 pole already. Congratulations. What can he do? Can he find any more speed out of this? 6:82. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Look how smooth this is. Down the main straight. 6:825 through turn 2. It looks very planted through those S's and smooth. Wow, how lovely is this car? Wow, 6:83, again, consistent from Cam. 20 seconds left. Can he improve on the 6:82? 6:78. First to get into the 6.7s. So he's a big distance. 6:73. That's a new track record. He might get one more lap in after this one. 6:74. Can he get into the 6.6s? This is the last lap. Through the last couple of turns through Jack Daniels, and a 6.79. Well done. Fantastic for Slotworks and Cam. So that's a huge leap on first place there. Congratulations. That definitely cements him in the top 3 for tonight. I'll get a quick word on Cam. Rodney Clark is up next for Lynn Fox, and then we've got my mate up next. How was that, Cam? Fair, fast time, excellent. Is it going to hold?
Who knows? Ben's come up. You and Ben are up, so... Yeah.
Benno's qualifying. We'll wait and see, but great time in the A-main, so looking forward to tomorrow's fast heat.
Should be great. Looking forward to it. Yep.
Mate, all right, here we go. Here comes Rodney Clark. YS Racing, is that right? Woo! Oh, he's off turn 1 already. Oh, great start. Oh, no. Oh, no. Here we go. So representing the team in style. Come on, Rodney. Now, I drove this car back in Adelaide a couple of weeks ago at the June long weekend. So let's see Rodney's first lap on the track, 7.65. That puts him P13 at the moment. Looking for a 7.47 to move up the grid. 7.54. And he's off underneath in the tunnel again. Page is marshalling him. He's got 20 seconds left to improve on his time. Let's see, 15 seconds, 13 seconds was that last lap. Coming down the hill through Monster, Jack Daniels. Let's see if he can put a banker in. 7.58, close. Can he go even faster? He might get one more lap in. He does, 7.68, and final lap here for Rodney Clark for Team Linfox. And it's a 7.50 for Rodney Clark. Fortunately, that puts him in last at the moment of those who have qualified. We'll get a quick word with him. And Ben Darley is up last for bull ring number 2. What are we getting? We're getting some IDs here, Foxy.
We are. We're stealing everything we can find.
Yeah, that's tops, mate. Rodney, how was that, mate? Good, bad? You want to have a chat? Nah, not interested. All right, we'll wait and see tomorrow with Ian as well. Here we go. We've got our last driver on the grid, which is Ben Darley, looking for a 6.73 for pole. And to make it through into the A main, Jim Slots is on the bubble here. 7.23 is the time to beat to make it into the A group. So let's have a look at here. So underway. That's an Acura NSX there. That's Cam's car. And Benno's already in the main. He's at a 7.16, so P7 at the moment. We'll see if he can do any better. This is my teammate, so this is a car that I'll be driving this weekend. 6.81, so that's P2, looking for a 6.73 for pole. So 1/10, he's got 30 seconds to go. 6.810, so literally 0.8 coming off at the top of the Slotworks S's. A few drivers are getting caught out at the grip at the top of the hill there. Turn 2 going through the S's. Gets through cleanly this time around. 15 seconds to go. What's the lap time? 6.91. Pretty fast. There's only a couple of drivers in the 6s at the moment. Let's see how we go. He might get one more lap in. 6.86. Has he got anything else in the bag? Oh, I've said those words. Here we go. Crosses the line. No, he doesn't. He crashes on the last turn there and crosses the line. And we'll put Bullring in second place and into the A main. Our qualifiers tonight. Slotworks is our top qualifier on a 6.73. So well done to Cam Nielsen and to Clinton for that wonderful drive in the Epson Acura NSX here. Second place is Ben Darley in the McLaren, how was that, Ben? Good? We're in the A main. That's the most important thing, mate.
Yeah, I guess that's exactly right. One fight, you know, it probably could have got a 7 out of it, but yeah, it is what it is, mate. And it's like you say, we've got an enduro to run now, so.
All right. We'll wait till tomorrow. So excellent. So that's it for qualifying there, guys. So that's excellent stuff. I think next that we've got on at the moment, I've got some lovely recommendation for Slappy and Benson Toy Story 4 for YouTube. Get rid of that. Thank you very much. So there's your results there on the screen, guys, on the totem pole. As you can see, we do have Slotworks 6738. What a fantastic time for Team Slotworks. Bullring 2 will be second up, so they're also in the A grade. Bullring number 1, which is consisting of Glenn and Noel, also in the A main, P3. Monster 707. Fifth is Out of Towners 1. Also in the main is Nicky Moto, so the team from Brizzy. And P7 is Stallion Racing, which is JJ and Vito, also making the A main, so congratulations to them. Those in the bottom group, in the B main, that will start tomorrow's morning first race at 8:30 is Jim Slots, which is Jim Patterson and Troy. P2 in that race is Team Nissan. Then we've got Out of Towners 2, Air Miles, Fat Racing, Sergeants, and Lynn Fox. That will be in that group there. So fantastic stuff. Let's show you some cars that we've got here. So you're coming over to me. G'day, guys. So our top qualifying car is our Acura NSX here. So we've got a lovely Epson livery right there for you. So that's Team Slotworks car. Underneath it, not too sure what type of chassis they are. I'm not too great at the knowledge there, but you can sort of get an idea in terms of what's under the tooling of these things. Some fantastic GT3 bodies and chassis for you. P2 was the Bullring number 2, which is my team. So Ben Daly's put this up. This is the Red Bull McLaren MP4. Oh, get into camera there. So there's your Red Bull livery right there. Very nice looking livery. And I believe that is a slot fabric chassis underneath there. So Fola over in Germany provides them. So fantastic stuff. So that's your idea in terms of that. And P3 is Bullring number 1. And we'll hold their car up quite quickly here as we look at Parc Ferme. And again, also rocking a McLaren livery. Again, in Bullring livery there. Slightly different colour scheme. And again, they're going for, I guess, it is a bit of a Plaffett sort of Gary Johnson sort of looking chassis. I'll have to confirm that for you. But that's the kit underneath the cars there. So pretty fast cars here. So excellent stuff. So we'll sort out the races for tomorrow for lane changes and driver pickings there. And we'll get onto the racing later on for you. So looking forward to that action. Up next now is GT3 check. So that's the Porsche Cup for you. The Slotworks cars will be racing tomorrow afternoon, probably around about 2 o'clock through to around about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So that's a good 4-hour endurance race right there. But we've got 16 teams, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get through that tomorrow afternoon. So that's going to be our big major race for the weekend. So again, Team Slotworks won that last year, which was Cam and Clinton. And as you see, they're top qualified at the moment. So their cars are looking good for the weekend. After that, after we do our tech check, then we've got some open practice right at the end for the guys. So those cars that aren't in Parc Ferme or aren't racing this weekend, the drivers will get some practice to get their eyes in for the weekend there. So yeah, all is good. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Bullring. I'll be running out the back for a second. I think I'm being called up for scrutineering purposes myself. And we'll get things going again in a moment for you. So I'll leave the results up on the screen. Thanks for watching the Bullring. And be sure to like and subscribe both to Facebook and to YouTube. Getting called up for dinner, so we've got some lovely barbecue dinner that's getting cooked up, so I'm definitely going to go in for a sausage sandwich at the moment. It should be good. So we'll be back shortly, and I'll leave the results up there for you so you can have a bit of a look-see. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, just an update. Welcome back to the bull ring. At the moment, all the drivers are having some lovely dinner provided by Glenn and the family out the back. We're having a barbecue dinner, so that's why there's no action on the track at the moment. We've got all the Porsche GT3 cars up for Saturday's afternoon's race in the tech check area, so the boys will be checking that after dinner, which will be done in a few moments' time. And for the rest of the racing group that's here tonight, they'll get an opportunity to practice with cars that haven't been submitted for Parc Ferme, just to get their eyes in for racing, just get a bit more practice to get used with the track, and other sort of similar cars that they're set up with. They will have an opportunity to have a drive until around about 10 o'clock tonight, and that's when we'll end our stream. So keep your eyes out for the guys appearing in the garage shortly. We'll be back shortly. We're just finishing off the last of the sausages that have been provided tonight. So thanks again for watching the Bull Ring. Make sure you like and subscribe to both the Bull Ring on Facebook and Bull Ring Raceway live here on YouTube. So thanks for watching. We'll have more action for you tomorrow morning, should you be leaving us right now. Tomorrow morning we'll be starting at approximately 8:15 after our drives briefing, and we've got our Lexan GT3 racing first. So as you can see on our leaderboard, the groups will be split into 2 groups of 7. So qualifiers 1 to 7 will be in the top group, and qualifiers 8 to 14 will be in the bottom group. And that will start. That'll be tomorrow's morning's race. And then once we get into Saturday afternoon, then we'll head on over to the Slotworks Porsche Cup throughout the afternoon and evening. On Sunday, we've got Plarford FLM and Slotworks V8 Supercars. So we've got a whole couple of days of action ready for you if you're keen to have a watch. Anyway, we'll be finishing off our dinner and we'll be back shortly. All right, guys, welcome back to the bull ring. Some of the drivers are making their way back after dinner onto the track for some pre-practice. The pre-practice is with cars that are not in Parc Ferme, so cars that aren't racing in this weekend's classes. All those cars have been submitted to Parc Ferme already and cannot be run. So these cars are probably B or C cars that didn't make the grade. It's a great opportunity for those who don't race at the bull ring. As you can see, all the drivers that are on the grid at the moment. We've got Kim from Queensland, Nick from Queensland, Noel from Queensland. We've got Foxy from Sydney and Alvaro from Canberra getting some laps in before this weekend's race meet. So learning the track, getting to drive on all 8 lanes, just get their eye in so that they're prepped up first thing in the morning. So as they do that, we'll keep an eye with the lap times in the top corner. Apologies for not having purple and black's fastest laps in the top corner. We've got our bull ring logo in the way, but that's for our race screen, so I've already preloaded that up for tomorrow's race. So come that, all the information will be right there and there for you. But yeah, great opportunities for those who want to have a muck around on the track or test driver changes and the whole lot. This is their time to do that till 10 o'clock. And then we'll finish up our stream then. And then we'll be back at 7:15 for Saturday's races. So we'll be going all day tomorrow here on YouTube on Bull Ring Raceway. So I'll leave you to it. I'm just catching up on a little bit more of a dinner and a bit more of a social aspect of things. It's fantastic coming to these big race meets. You get to hang out with some great mates. Both these guys here from the Bull Ring, the local guys, and our interstate friends. So it's nice to catch up with them. It's nice to have a race with these guys too. So sure, when the racing happens, it's a little bit serious, but at the end of the day, we're all good mates and all enjoying the same great hobby that we have. So I'll leave you to it there. I'll come back later on and do some final wrap-ups later on, but at the moment I'll leave the microphone on and you can listen to some of the cars going around the track and some of the drivers that are whizzing by. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, we're down to the final 4 minutes of tonight's free practice zone. Put Alvaro on blue there. So we're just wrapping things up here tonight at the bull ring. Oh, another couple of offs here at the top. So it's been a great night. Good social catch-up in the last hour. We've had some lovely dinner after GT3 Lexan qualifying. And a great social interaction. I've been having a great chat with Mark Fox up in Sydney about quite a few bits and pieces regarding racing and other general business. So that's been great fun. Everyone's been having a nice relaxing time out the back on the veranda with the bonfire going. So many thanks to Glenn Page and his family for hosting us this weekend. We're all enjoying each other's company. So we've got a couple of minutes to go before the track is turned off. Again, it's mostly all the interstate drivers that are on the track at the moment, practicing getting their eyes in on all the lanes for this weekend's racing. Tomorrow morning we'll start at 7:15. We'll be doing some drivers' briefings and then into the racing straight away. So we're looking forward to that. And yeah, so all good and happy. So on track we have Clinton on Black Lane. So Clinton's with Cam, who top qualified in the Lexan GT3 class. So they're running around with a Lexan McLaren MP430 on black. So getting their eyes in for the big race. Nick's just come off. Nick's one of the local racers from Brizzy. Alvaro is still practicing on blue with his Slotworks Porsche, his own one, in the green stuff livery. So getting some much needed practice there. He came a little bit later on this afternoon. And I'll put him back on. And Noel getting some last minute practice in on white for boring with himself and Pagey pairing up. So excellent stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Probably we had some exciting bits probably at 8:15 with the running of the Lexan GT3 qualifying. Very exciting stuff where the 14 teams that are battling it out have been seeded for tomorrow's race. I'll just go through the results for you, as I'll get them up on my lovely phone. So our top qualifiers were Team Slotworks with a 6.738. Second place was Bullring number 2, which was a 6.810. And the top 3 rounding out third position, Bullring number 1 with a 6.973. So they were the 3 teams that broke into the 6-second barrier. Monster with a good qualifying performance from Jason Bell, finished 4th, 7.07. 5th were Out of Towners 1. So that's Ian and Jack, 7.102. So great performance with the Acura NSX. There, Nicky Moto, which is the 2 guys from Brizzy. So that's Nick and Kim Axton. 7.136 with the Lamborghini Huracan. That car won the race meet up at Hornsby back in February. That was Kim and Glenn Page. So now they're in separate teams. We'll see on how they go. But that car's definitely a quick one. And 7th also racing in the A main tomorrow is Stallion Racing, which is JJ and Vito. So local team. They've definitely punched above their weight tonight. And we'll see them tomorrow in the A main. So hopefully they'll be looking for a strong run. In the B main, we have gym slots. So that's Jim Patterson and Troy. They'll be the top-seeded team in the B race. The 7.23 was their time. Just behind them was Team Nissan, the 7.25. Then Out of Towners with a 7.33. Air Miles is a 741. Fat Racing with a 744. Surgents with a 747. And rounding out the field was Lynn Fox with a 750. So they'll be racing first. Those are drivers from 8th to 14th. So that'll be the first 80-minute session tomorrow morning. And then we'll get to the A main straight after that. So that should be starting hopefully around about 10:30 through to midday. And then we'll be racing in the Slotworks Porsche Cup class. And that will be kicking off hopefully around about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And going right through to around about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So that's a big endurance race tomorrow. That's a bit more of a 2-hour endurance race for each team. There's 14 teams in that race. So it's going to be a long race. So I think there's about 4 or 5 hours allocated at least for that race, with a dinner break in between as well. So exciting times. Okay, we'll wrap things up here from the bull ring. So thanks again for watching tonight's action. We'll provide links tomorrow on Facebook should you be wanting to tune on in to the action here on YouTube or wherever you're watching. Thanks for tuning on in and watching us tonight. You can go back and watch the action from tonight's coverage as well as last night's Thursday night broadcast that we had on the Bullring Raceway channel on YouTube. All the other races that we've had previous for the last 2 months are on Facebook Live, so you can go and watch all those races that have been broadcasted before on that. But we're now converted to YouTube, hopefully providing you a little bit more of a better service, a bit more ease of access for those who want to watch us on the World Wide Web. So thanks again for tuning on in, and we'll be back with you at 7:15 tomorrow in the morning. That's Australian Eastern Standard Time. So have a great night, and we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.